Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Starting off, we are going to be using the Smashbox Pore Minimizer Primer. The one that I'm using is a travel size, so it is $16, so it is affordable if you just want to try it out. All it does, it smooths out your skin and absorbs oil, so then you won't have an oily T-zone. I only recommend it being used on your T-zone because that is the only area where typically everyone gets oily. If you do end up getting it everywhere else on your face, it will tend to dry out your skin. So if you're concerned about drying it out or making it look patchy or anything like that, don't use it all over your face. Just use it on the T-zone where you need to smooth out the pores. Then I'm going to grab my Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation in the shade Y345. It is $43, and I am using my Morphe Beauty Blender to blend it in. I'm going in small portions since it is a glowy foundation, and all I'm doing is just adding up coverage or adding on the coverage, because my skin has been doing so well lately with all the skincare that I have changed and updated since my last skincare routine. So it doesn't really need as much coverage, it just needs the minimal, and so as I go I'm adding coverage wherever I feel like it needs it. So that's probably what's going to be for like the next minute, is just blending, adding, blending, adding, and that's it. So I'm going to speed it through here so we can get onto the next part. And for the next part I am going to be using some concealer, and the concealers that I'm going to be using are from Makeup Revolution. They are the Define and Conceal. I am using shade 10 and number 7. First, number 10, just because it's the closest to my skin tone and I want it to blend beautifully on the skin, and then I'm using a little bit of 7 just to brighten up the under eye a little bit. And yeah, and then I'm using again my Morphe Beauty Blender, which is $8 at Ulta, I believe. So if you are in need of a beauty blender that legit works beautifully, this one is the way to go. I believe they have a few versions of it, so if you are looking for like a specific one, go ahead and look and see what they got, but this is the one that I like because it just reminds me so much of the original Beauty Blender, even though it's not like an egg shape. Anywho, grabbing that same beauty blender, I'm going to go ahead and, or I think they call it a beauty sponge, I can't remember, but I'm going to continue to call it a beauty blender. So all I'm doing is just blending my under eye and blending it towards the top for my lids. I honestly just use the concealer as my eyeshadow primer. I know it's bad, I know, but I don't find a need to use eyeshadow primer unless I'm using like a shimmer shade or a satiny shade, anything that is just like supposed to make the eye pop. That's when I use eyeshadow primer and etc. But normally all I use is just concealer as my base, and that's it. And then once everything is blended, we're gonna go ahead and step into the next step, which is using the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Pressed Powder. I had to think about that one. This powder is magical. It is made out of silk, so it just glides onto the skin beautifully. It makes your skin look super smooth. So if you have a little bit of problematic skin, or if you feel like you have big pores, this will definitely smooth out everything and make you look clean and just so I don't want to say smooth again, but smooth. Like literally that's all it does, smooth. And I'm just putting that over wherever I concealed. After that, I am going to grab my True Match foundation, powder foundation from L'Oreal, and this is just to even out my skin tone a little because I know I'm looking a little bit crazy, but I promise you that at the end everything will just look normal. After that, I believe I go into eyes, but before doing eyes, I do my brows off camera because I do have a brow tutorial of how I do my brows on a normal basis. So if you guys want to check that out, the link will be in the description below. And there, brows are done. After that, I'm gonna grab my Morphe 25A Copper Spice palette. I am in love with all the shades that are in here. There's just so beautiful brown neutral tones, and that's the kind of vibe that I was rolling with today. So I'm going to be grabbing that number 7 shade. I had the names of them, but yeah, I don't know where that paper went. But the shade is like a nice caramel shade that you put on your crease and bring it up to near the eyebrow. That's just basically called your transition shade, and I just use that color, just use it and spread it all over the eyelid by using my Glam 22 brush. It's a blending brush, so yeah, it helps really distribute the color evenly and blends it so beautifully, so then it doesn't have any harsh lines or anything like that. So if you guys are looking into brushes, definitely check this brand out, Glam 22. They do have an Instagram, check it out. After that, I believe I'm going to go back into my palette and grab a little bit more of like a reddish orangey brown shade, if that makes sense. It is a beautiful color that I just wanted to concentrate on the crease, just to start to add a little bit of definition in my eyes, or on my eyelids. So after that, I'm just gonna blend the rest up towards where the transition shade is, but not blend it all the way up. I'm just bringing it to that crease and then cutting it there and then blending it together with the transition. After that, I'm grabbing that deeper brown just to put it on the outer corners of my eyes, and that's just to give it a defined look on the eyes. And this is my go-to look, literally what I try to do every single day, but just with different colors. So if you guys ever wonder how I do my eyes, or like what is my technique, this is my technique. This is what I use on my clients. Unless they tell me do a glitter, do a glitter cut crease or do a halo eye or smoky eye, this is literally all I do. So if you like my looks, here's the secret. After that, I'm going to grab that beautiful shimmery shade. It has like a hint of pink or champagne-y, and so I'm grabbing that and just putting it on the inner part of, or the inner corner of my eye, and bringing it up to the middle just to make everything blend beautifully. And whatever fallout you have, if you have a translucent powder, just use that. Grab your brush that you use to set underneath your eye and just swipe it off the skin. Literally, it's such a great tip, especially if you haven't prepared or something. Or another one is just to put the translucent powder on before you start doing any glitter or anything like that. So after that, I'm grabbing that same brown shade and putting it underneath my lash line, and then grabbing that darker brown and just using that to define my lash line, or just closer to my lash line. Once that is done, I grab my Ardell Wispy lashes, which I haven't worn in forever. So yes, congratulate me for wearing my Wispies all over again. I just bought these, I believe, like 2 weeks ago, and I've been just in love with them all over again. So definitely such a great go-to lash, or even something just natural. This lash is just so beautifully, it's just so beautiful. It blends so nicely with your lashes. Definitely recommend you blending your lashes by curling them, because if you do not curl your lashes, it literally, and you have like straight lashes like I do, it's gonna be like a hot mess. It's not gonna look blended and natural. So once you do all of that, the lash glue that I use is the Tarte lash glue, which I will not be repurchasing. Not because it's not a great lash glue. I think it's a great lash glue if you wanted to not get off your eyelashes at all. Like literally, it stays in my lashes even after I clean and everything. It just stays there. So unless you want to really use oil every single day to remove that, then not the lash glue for you. But once I run out, I'm gonna go back to my duo black lash glue. I used to have that one and I ran out, and of course, since I wanted to try other stuff, I got the Tarte one. But it's okay. Not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying if you're willing to do the oil, then do it. Go for it. Then I'm grabbing my Bad Gal Bang mascara, using it on my bottom lashes. I will be using it later for my top lashes to blend them. And after this, I am grabbing a bronzer so I don't look as crazy as what I'm looking like right now. Promise you, like I said, this look is gonna look good. I always have to tell that, like, I always feel like I have to say that phrase for even my clients, because sometimes they be looking a little bit crazy in the process of makeup, and they're like looking at me like, oh my gosh, she doesn't know what I'm doing, or she doesn't know what she's doing. And I'm just like, chill, calm down. I know what I'm doing. I know. Just calm down. By the end of it, they're like, oh my god, you like made me look like a goddess and blah 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 this, and it's all great. So like I said, just wait until the end. You'll see what the difference is. Anywho, back to the makeup tutorial. The bronzer that I'm using is in the shade Saddle, and it's from Anastasia. As you can see, it just looks gorgeous. I think it just blends so beautifully, makes your skin look so defined and so gorgeous. It's not too orange, not too red or anything like that. So definitely a great bronzer to purchase if you are looking into bronzers. Then I am grabbing my Pretty Vulgar blush in the shade Hush Blush, and I'm just putting it on the apples of my cheeks. This blush is a little bit it's very pigmented, so what I recommend you doing if you do have this blush is just putting a little bit of it on and using a stippling brush to blend it out into your bronzer and all. So after that, we're gonna go ahead and use the Spotlight highlight palette from BH Cosmetics. It's one of the greatest highlighting palettes that I've ever purchased. Like literally, it is so inexpensive. I think it was like, or right now actually it's on sale for $11, but that's because of the Mother's Day situation. But I believe it's typically around $16 to $18 if I'm correct. But as you can see, it literally makes you shine and glow like no other. I feel like this just really reminds me of the Anastasia Amrezy highlighting little highlighter. So if you guys want something that's more inexpensive and gives you more options, this one is the way to go. After that, I believe I'm getting closer to finishing, so oh no, makeup tutorial is coming to an end. But I am going to, like I said, blend my lashes with the mascara, and I believe I choose a lip color, and the lip color that I choose is from Smashbox, and it is called Stepping Out. It is their liquid lipstick formula. This one is a little sample that one of my friends gave me, so yeah. Overall, I love this look. I think it's just beautiful, nice, and neutral and bronzy, especially for the summer. So if you guys are looking for this type of look, don't look any further. You have found your makeup tutorial. Anywho, thank you so much for being here and watching my video. If you guys have any suggestions on what you guys want me to record next, like if you guys want makeup reviews or skincare or what's next, just let me know. And lastly, before I end, I do have to mention that I set my face with the facial spray Mario Badescu. It is a facial spray, not a setting spray, so don't go too crazy with it. I tend to go very crazy with it because it's just so refreshing on the skin, so yeah. Anywho, this is the finished result. If you guys love this look, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please follow me on my social media and let me know what other suggestions you guys have for me. Thank you so much for watching, and see you guys in my next video.